I'm Iamramekin, and I am out of Atlanta, Georgia. My very first bike was a Ninja 250, third gen, 2008. So motovlogging is kind of an extension of what I've done my entire life already. I personally, offline, outside of YouTube, make a bunch of videos just my entire life, and so it was kind of just an extension of what I've already been doing my entire life anyways. I think like the mixture of my hobby of like computers and technology kind of influenced that as well to just start doing it. So it was just kind of a natural progression of what I was already doing anyways. So when I first was getting into motorcycles, I was kind of looking around at what type of bike I wanted to get, and originally, I don't think a lot of people know this, originally I wanted a motorcycle as a survival tool. Yeah, that was actually why I wanted it, like straight up zombie apocalypse shit. And so I was interested in the KLR, the 650, because it's kind of like, you know, the dual sport bike. And so when I was researching that was when I started coming across vlogging. So I just kind of ran into it by accident. And so some of the people that I started with were Rebel Yell 91. He went from a Ninja to a KLR, which is kind of like what I was interested in doing already. And then the whole Arizona crew, to me, are the people that kind of really got me interested in vlogging. So like your old school guys like Rhino Rye, Rebel Yell, Oki Hana Girl out of California. Those are kind of like the people that I discovered first, I think. And Bilma and his friend, Busasaur Rex, I think is his name. So those are the guys that I started out with. So this is such a stupid story. I hate this story. I have no, like most people, they have been, you know, they have like nicknames as a kid or in high school or something. Like, oh, my name's gonna be fucking like Jim or whatever. I flip domain names as a hobby, and so I have like this giant list of domain names that I purchase in the hopes of reselling one day, right? And so I owned, there's an Indonesian domain is .in, right? Like .com, .net. So I owned Rammick.in, which spelled Ramekin, and I thought that was creative. I'm like, oh, Rammick.in. So some asshole cook like bought the domain from me, and I ended up buying Iamramekin as like a substitute for that domain. And so whenever I do projects, any sort of geeky projects, which I consider this one, I just go through like my list of domain names for whatever is available to start a site with, and that one was available, so that's the only reason I chose that name. It's not because anyone ever called me that, or it's a nickname or anything. It's just strictly just an arbitrary thing, which I totally regret because nobody knows what the fuck a ramekin is. And I always get asked, like, what is this, a fish bowl, a dog? Why is your sticker a cat bowl? And like, nobody knows what the fuck a ramekin is. I'm just like, no, it's not a goddamn dog bowl. It's a ramekin. So, it's I don't know, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, everybody calls me Rammy, and that's just kind of like what stuck, I guess. And so I'm just stuck with it now. What makes it interesting to me is the fact that the community is so amazing. So I've met so many people, and almost everyone has been a pretty legit person. So I think that is kind of unique to motovlogging for people's online experiences. I can't think of too many other activities you can do online where you can meet so many new people. And I mean, I've gotten so many friendships out of it too. You know, there's a lot of people that I hang out with offline because of motovlogging that I never would have met, most likely in real life. So I think that's kind of what I enjoy from it. You know, sharing experiences and sharing ideas. It's kind of an interesting way to do it. My favorite vlog that I filmed. So probably a mixture of two of them. I did a vlog a long time ago where I kind of made fun of a bunch of other motovloggers. That was really fun to shoot. I had a good time doing that. There was another vlog that I did called I'm in Love, and that was my attempt at portraying how much passion that I have for riding and kind of how I fell in love with riding. So it's probably between those two would be my favorites. I'm like a goofy person at heart in general, so I think like the first video kind of making fun of, candidly, not slightly, at people was really fun to do. Yeah, okay, so I guess based upon those two questions, then I guess the one that I had most fun with would be the one where I made fun of people, and probably the I'm in love one would mean the most to me though. There's been a couple of people that have, so I'm generally a very, very private person. Not a lot of people know that much about my private life. Like I try to segment my motorcycle life from my private life. I think a lot of people do that, but I have a lot of reasons why I do that. That I haven't really talked about. So when people share very private, intimate aspects of their life, then that usually leaves a mark on me. Like there's been a couple bloggers, I don't want to name them, but they've talked about like, their siblings dying, their dad's dying, their parents, separating, and it's that like raw emotion. The fact that they can share that with the world, those really, really impact me a lot. Too freaking many. So when I started, it wasn't as nice as it is now with these little teeny cameras. Yeah, you had to walk 10 miles in the snow, uphill both ways to get a fucking camera. So it started like with the nose squishers. You'd like stick one of these little cameras in your visor. I've tried that. I've tried an iPhone. I had this brilliant idea that I was gonna use the Ustream app on my iPhone one time to live vlog, and that was a failure. Been through drifts, GoPros, man, all kinds of stuff. Gosh, at least 10 different combinations before I finally ended up with what I've got now. And I just use still the drift and the standard drift mic. I don't have any expensive Shure mic or anything crazy that people get. I've had really good luck with the audio from just the $9 drift mic. I don't know why, but a lot of people comment on the videos. They say my audio is really clear, so works for me, I guess. I don't know. Jeez, I had a Ninja 250, which I will own again, by the way. So for all you people hating on 250s, they're good. Oh, well, I guess, do they even exist anymore? Do they make them still?
Yeah.
They didn't replace it with the 300?
I don't think so.
Huh. Well, anyways, great bike. I will own one again. Gosh, I wonder if I could just like full throttle one through Blood Mountain now. Just like full. I should try that one day. Anyways, so 250. I've had cruisers. I've had it was a Korean bike, the Hyosung GV650. Have you seen those bikes? Mm-hmm. Bikes are crazy. I've had those. I've had R6s. I've had FZ8s. I've had 3 FZ8s. People don't know that. Two FZ8s. I had the 2011 model, and then that is the 2013 model back there. That's how much I like the bike. I bought it twice because I'm an asshole. I've had DT Motors. Gosh, what was that piece of shit? It was like a 75cc bike, I think, or I think it was DT Motors. I can't remember even what that shitty thing was. I had it for like a week. I've had a ton of different bikes. I'm like a bike whore. I don't necessarily stay as like a sports bike guy, like some people kind of do. Really? Some people go with like either sports bikes or it's amazing. I have to take this. I'm sorry. This is Matt. Hey, what's up, man? You called me. Hey, so say hello.
Hi.
This is C2 Dub interrupting the interview. You're interrupting the interview. See, this is how C2 Dub is. He's not good enough that he has his own segment. He has to interrupt my segment because he's like, oh, I gotta be all over the place. I'm C2 Dub. None stolen. I have wrecked. Does dropping count as a wreck?
No, not really. Like,
No?
more or less wrecked as in, like, the bike was done.
Oh, like totaled? 0. I've wrecked, but I was able to ride home from everyone. Favorite aspect of it? I think meeting new people is still gotta be my favorite aspect of it. I mean, I already enjoy riding and traveling, and so, like, so it's funny. A lot of people on this is awesome. I'm gonna like totally alienate my audience by hating on my audience for a minute. So like a lot of people will come to my videos and they'll make comments and they'll say things like, I don't like seeing this, or like I posted a video. I don't know if you even look at my channel, but I posted a video about like my childhood recently, like kind of like growing up, just showing like how I've got footage from myself as a kid until now, and there was like 50-50 hate love for it, and I don't know, like when I go on motorcycle rides, and like I record that experience, the best I can capture it on film, which is hard when you're not actually there. It's like seeing something so amazing in front of you, and then trying to capture that moment on video. It's so difficult to do that. But it's the only way that we can really kind of record that memory of that event. So I try to do that as best I can, and a lot of people sometimes, I'll post it because it's my channel and it's like what I want to share, and people will hate on it, and it's like, it's like not their channel, so, they'll be like, I don't want to see this crap. It's like, okay, like, go watch something else, you don't have to watch my stuff. Like, I'm not posting it for them, I'm recording these things for me, and even if YouTube didn't exist, I would still have these videos for my own enjoyment, because it's the only way that I can try to relive and remember what was going on in my life at that time. So I think that's probably, that's the best answer I can get for that. I personally prefer spontaneous, but I understand schedule. If you are tailoring to an audience and you want them to kind of like stick with you and not alienate your viewers, then definitely scheduled is the way to go. But like I said, when I post these videos, it's more just because I'm sharing that window of my life with the internet. So it's more spontaneous for me, and I feel that if you get into this scheduled routine, then your videos become redundant and like monotonous. They're like the same, because you're like, oh shit. Like, for example, when we were riding, I was like, oh shit, tomorrow's Monday, right? So I gotta post something for tomorrow, and I was like, well, fuck, I guess I'm gonna have to go ride and do some shitty little vlog to post tomorrow, because I don't really have anything other than like super old footage that I can post. So, like, in that sense, scheduled sucks, because people tomorrow are gonna get a vlog where I'm just gonna go rush something and talk about it real quick. And if it was more spontaneous, then you can spend time and edit stuff and make them better. So. Shit. Holy shit. Oh my god. How many fucking years? That would be a better way to, hours. Jesus Christ. A lot. I don't even know how many. Endless hours. Endless. I mean, I can't even imagine to guess. I'm sure, God, at least, I mean, what kind of fucking question is this? This is like crazy. I don't even know how to like, this is like a question they fucking ask you on Google when you're getting hired. You're like, how many hours have you been alive? This exact second. At least a year's worth of fucking hours. I don't know, dude. Too fucking many. That's how many. I fucking live video editing. So, I don't know. Of fucking 7,000. Sure. That sounds good.
That's awesome. That is so amazing.
It's been, man, okay, so there's a lot involved. You've got to keep up with, what's going on. You got to always stay up to date with new technology, new bikes, new gear. You've got to get yourself on as much social media as possible. Which sounds easy, but keeping up with everything is so hard. You've got like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Feed and all these things just all over the place, and you try to make each item different so people will be interested in following you there. And, you've got websites, and then you've got your video editing. Then you start new channels, and you got to keep up with those. So stickers and shirts and going to events like this huge event we've got in Georgia coming up. It's fucking hard, man. It is like almost a full-time job. It is really, really hard. And it's like, I can only imagine what it's like for super large companies trying to keep their name in people's heads when it's just something as simple as a motovlogger trying to keep their name out there. But it's hard. But if you're active in the community and you're responsive to people and you help people and want to help people and enjoy the social aspect of it, then I think eventually your name gets synonymous with your brand. So nobody, absolutely nobody. It's just me. So if you hate it, then direct your hate to stickerbomb at Iamramekin.com, and if you love it, then email me, Rammekin at Iamramekin.com. No, nobody helps me. I do everything all by myself. I record everything, I video everything. The music, I write the music. If there's ever, so 90% of the time, if there's music in my videos, it's music that I've written. So, all of that is me. I don't have any help. There's nobody that does anything for me. Going to work, riding as much as I can. Trying to think of my hobbies. Luckily, my job, so I'm like a computer nerd, fits in with my hobby, so I can kind of deal with that, lust while I'm at work and get that out of the way. But I'm an entrepreneur at heart, so there are several projects that I'm always working on constantly, like at the same time. Like as of right now, I have 4 companies, like legit companies, like LLCs that I've founded that I'm trying to work on at the moment. So, I don't know, my typical day is just fucking chaos, is what it is. And my challenge is to find legit free time to just get the fuck, like when I go to Blood Mountain or you see me like in Blood Mountain riding with somebody, it's just because I'm trying to like forget about life. Like that's my only free time, which is probably why riding means so much to me. It's become that part of me that means like freedom, So yeah, my regular life is just fucking nuts. You've experienced a little bit of it today. Just my phone's always ringing, people are always calling me. So it's crazy. My downtime. It's really interesting. I had this fucked up feeling when you said that because I never really have downtime, and I was like, man, I wonder if that's where all of these sad suicidal thoughts stem from. It's just like I never have free time. I don't have free time. I guess it's kind of what I told you. Like when I have legit time where I don't have to fucking. It's not that I don't have to do something. It's I've bumped something, like I've delayed something, I've procrastinated something just a little bit further, or I've shelved a project that I'm working on. So it's not that I necessarily have free time. It's just, even with me wanting to do this, I had to fucking reschedule with you 20 times. Yeah, it's just it's trying to work everything in as much as possible. But I go ride is what I do. That's probably the most liberating thing that I do, which sounds really boring, but getting lost and going out and being out in public, I was a super huge dude for a long time, and so I was the exact opposite of the way that I am now. I was a real recluse and totally socially awkward because being that weight, you just feel so weird to be around people. You don't want to talk to girls and go out to parties and be around people. which may be kind of where like my humor comes from, is like sort of like this, like, you know, I don't know, like a self-defense thing, right? It's like how I like try to fit in to be in social situations. And so now that like I've lost some weight and I feel better about myself, I feel like I'm finally like just now, you know, I just turned 35, like just now coming out of my shell. And so like when I, you know, meet these motorcycle people, which is why this community means so much to me, you know, when we go like travel like out of state and go to Tennessee or whatever, this shit like blows my mind. Like I never would have done any of that before. I never would have gone and hung out with people. I never would have been, I feel like I wouldn't have been socially accepted, which is silly to think that it's just in your mind's eye when you're like that, you know, you just don't feel like you are. So, yeah, I don't even remember what the fucking question was. What was the question? Holy shit.
That's what you do in your downtime.
Yeah, my downtime, yeah. So it's just, I like, oh yeah, this is where I was getting at. So, I like to experience, or I'm starting to experience all the things that everybody has normally done that I have never done before. You know, people will ask me all kinds of things. Hey, have you ever gone kayaking? And I'm just like, no, that sounds amazing. Why haven't you been kayaking? Because I couldn't fucking fit in a goddamn boat. That's why I haven't been kayaking, right? Like skydiving, there's like, they look at me and they're like, really? Or, no, like, you know, you need like one of those parachutes for tanks to like jump out of the plane, right? So I haven't like done shit, like fun shit that normal people do, you know? So my free time, I'm learning that now. I'm like experiencing shit for the first time, so whatever I can. I'm indifferent, but I mean, I don't have GP on any of my bikes. They're all standard. I'm indifferent. Whatever. I'm so biased because of where we are. I think anybody in like the like central U.S., especially people in Kansas, I'm so sorry to live in Kansas. Fuck that place. Florida is horrible too. I mean, so Florida, at least with Florida, like Florida is like the Kansas of just shit flat straight roads, but at least they have like chicks in bikinis, right? So it like kind of offsets that. Like you can ride and it's like, oh, hot chick. But in Kansas, it's just like, oh, camel. There's like fucking nothing out there, right? There's like little like things that, what are those little hay balls that roll around? Those little fucking tumbleweeds? Is that what it is, dude? Like you get shit like that. Like I picture Kansas as just like tumbleweeds and like skeletons and like signs. Like that's Kansas to me, just fucking straight roads. So fuck the central U.S. if you're there. So Georgia, I'll just do like U.S. first. So Georgia, I think we're really lucky, especially the location that you and I are in, because we're close to the Georgia mountains. We can hit Tennessee, North Carolina fairly easily. We've got Cherahola, we've got Tail, we've got Blue Ridge, like all within our reach, which is fucking incredible. You know, we could spend like a 10-hour day and go like anywhere. Like we could even go to Nashville in a day if we wanted to, like there and back, and hit some legit roads. So I think we are in an amazing place. I think California has great areas too. So they're pretty lucky. But I don't know. I don't know about like globally. I would think that New Zealand and Iceland and places like that, like even Scotland, I'd want to go right out there just because of like the openness of their roads. I think that would be fun. England, fuck the UK. Maybe it was just a place that I was at. Holy shit, the UK to me is just like right now we're sitting here and it's like there's like birds, there's like peace, right? The UK, it's just like fucking chaos, man. There's like fucking shit on the wrong side of the road. They're like, and their horns sound all fucked up. They're like me me me, and people are like blah blah blah. They're all fucking drunk and yelling. And it's chaos. Like you can't pull over anywhere. It's like you just have to move. So fuck the UK. That's horrible. All my UK subscribers just unsubscribe to me. But I can't. I don't know. I didn't think that was very fun out there. But I was only in the city, so maybe it's different. And I don't know. Whatever. Weem, I still love you. If you ever watch this, Weem's awesome. But I think Georgia, California, Canada. You know. I don't know about their roads, but I would imagine that it's pretty mountainous up there, so yeah, I like Georgia. I'm so biased to Georgia though, because I think we're in such a great place where we can hit anything we want within like a day. We can even go to the Ozarks in a day. Fucking yeah. Fucking Kansas and their tumbleweed skeletons. Fuck Kansas, dude. God, I would just look. If you gave me, I just want to say this. If you were standing in front of me and you were like, here is a driveway of bikes, right? Like you got Boosas, sports bikes, whatever. You were like, pick any fucking bike you want and ride it through Kansas. I'd fucking kill myself. Like that would be my choice. Like fuck Kansas. Okay, so Kansas is the worst place ever. I don't want to move there. I don't like saying Kansas. It's like Kansas ass. Like, fuck Kansas. They're the worst. Like, straight. I bet if you were to call, like, we go get a phone book and just, like, pick any number in Kansas and let's call it. Like, you should do this in, like, the fucking post log or whatever. Fucking call some random guy in Kansas and be like, hey, does Kansas suck? And they'll be like, fuck yeah, dude, don't come here. They will tell you that. Do that in the end of the credits, okay? Trust me, fuck Kansas. That's my answer. Be like, I'm so sorry that we're here and we suck. I mean, what is it? Like, name one thing Kansas is known for. What, cheese? Is that, like, what do they have? Tumbleweeds? Nobody knows, like, Georgia on my mind. We got peaches and, like, women. You know, what in Kansas? Like, tumbleweed and skeletons. That's their license plate. I'm gonna look. Like, what is Kansas? I want to know now. Yeah, they're known for nothing. Culture. Here we go. The culture. Yep, they're known for the band Kansas because they were formed in Kansas. Dude, fuck Kansas. I'm done. Even literally Wikipedia for like Georgia. It's like they're the sunflower and peaches. Kansas was nothing. They had nothing there. So that's how shitty Kansas is. Even the free online shit is like, we don't even give a fuck. We're not even gonna look into it. So like, who gives a shit?
Holy shit. Oh my god, I'm fucking crying. Holy.
Oh man. If I have anyone that watches my videos from Kansas, that's why they're watching. Because there's nothing to do. There's nothing. A lot of people. Like, you want me to name the YouTube names?
I mean, if you want to, if you feel like you can name all of them.
I couldn't. Yeah, there's no way that I could. I've met so many people. It's unreal. I mean, that's part of the community that I was telling you about. Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine. I've met people from all over the fucking world too. And here's what's cool about the motovlogging community is you can meet somebody. And I don't know if this is like motorcycling in general, because I've noticed that if you ride a bike somewhere and you kind of pull into a shopping center or whatever it is, and there's another biker there, there's always like that weird connection where you kind of like see a bike and start talking bikes, and there's always like stories, there's interaction. And it's not like that with cars. Like, you never pull into a parking space somewhere in a car and start just randomly talking to a stranger. But bikers, for some reason, they have that connection. And so it's like, what I've noticed is, from these people that I've met, all these random vloggers or just people online, you start to like get to know them through their videos, kind of like how their personalities are and such. And when I went to the UK and met some of the vloggers that I've interacted with from, fucking, I don't even know how many miles away they are, like whatever, 4,000, halfway across the fucking globe. It was like we were instantly friends. It's like we'd go hang out, and it's like we've been friends our entire lives. We'd go out for beers, and there's never been a worry or concern with who I'm hanging out with. Is this guy legit or not? And so, I don't know. That's amazing to me. So I can't even begin to name. I mean, hundreds, I'm sure, at least hundreds. And then going to these meetups where there's just 500 people that go to these things. It's impossible to keep up with everybody. But yeah, it's great. It's fun. I think that so I would probably, I wish that I had never caved in to my audience's, I don't want to say demands, I think that word is too harsh, but I feel like, you know, as I was saying, like when I record these things, I do it for my enjoyment and for my memory of whatever event that I'm doing. And I've noticed that when you start changing that into what people are wanting you to do, then it doesn't become fun anymore. You know, it becomes a job. And I've already got enough jobs. And so when I'm recording because I'm catering to what people want, then yeah, I'm not enjoying it, and I feel like I have to do it versus it being a natural thing that I'm already doing. So if I were to change one thing, it would probably be, you know, because there were points where I would get like so tired of vlogging, and in fact I stopped vlogging for a really long time, and I think that was like a large part of it. So I would have just kept true to exactly what I wanted to post no matter what. That would be some advice I would give to new motovloggers starting, is to just post what you enjoy and not what people want you to post. No, you know, that's such a. I'm gonna answer this uniquely just because of like I love bikes. I don't care like what type of bike it is. I don't care if it's brand new. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I want like the newest this or the newest that. You know, I want, you know, a fucking $50,000, you know, like whatever. Like I don't care. Like you could bring up like cafe racers to me and like, you know, used little shitty bikes, like dirt bikes. Like those bikes, they're so much fun to ride. A friend of mine has a KZ 650, I think. It's like one of the really old, it's like a 1970 Cowie bike. Like those bikes are so much fun to me. So I feel like I've had like a good spread of different types of bikes. You know, I haven't like stayed to sports bikes. I've gone with cruisers and dirt bikes and stuff. So no, I don't think I would change the path that I took. And a lot of people talk about, you know, graduating from like smaller CC bikes to like bigger CC bikes, but I still find a lot of fun in the lower CC bikes, I really do. So, I mean, like I said, I would get a 250 again, the R3. I mean, holy shit, if I had an R3, that would be fucking amazing. So, no, I don't think I would change anything with the bikes I've had. Yes, actually. This is probably before you even knew me. I actually put up a video that I was quitting. Like I was like, I'm done vlogging, and I made like this retire video. I was like, this is the last video I'm ever gonna do. And there was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of drama going on at the time, and you know, kind of touched on like how busy I am. And so like when there's unnecessary, well, what I would consider unnecessary drama. Like a lot of people, they say, and even me, you know, they're like, oh, I never have any free time. But a lot of times it's because you're putting yourself in those situations where you're making yourself so busy. And so vlogging at one time was like so just filled with drama. And it was just a time in my life where I needed to like separate myself from it because I was just too busy with other shit going on. And so I made this video and I was like, I'm done, you know, I had a great time. I felt like I had accomplished, you know, like I had an accomplished channel. You know, when I start something, I like to do it like full blast. I don't want to half-ass anything. And so when I was like posting videos, I felt like I was posting quality content, and I felt that the subscriber base I was gaining at the time was, you know, true to my work ethic. Anyways, and so yeah, I posted it, and everybody was like, "Wow, this really sucks," you know, really sad. And then maybe about like a month later, I like really, it wasn't a month, maybe a couple weeks, I really regretted it. And what I should have done was just taken a break without saying anything, you know, and then just coming back to it. And so then I had to like post a video like, just kidding, psych, April Fools. And I think that it really damaged the connection that I had with people. And I don't know, I really regret doing that. It's kind of like how I do things. And so this is actually like a challenge that I have. Like a lot of people work on things in their own personal life. That's like one of the things that I do is I try to be as laid back as possible now and not overreact to things. I've usually been the type of guy where if something happens, then I just like immediately like end it and get it out of my life, or just move on and don't like, you know, focus on it for too long. And so I don't know. If I were to go back and do it again, I would have never posted that video. No, I don't. I think that, in fact, I think the exact opposite will happen. I think that the amount of recording will increase, because I think that with where technology is heading, just shit's getting smaller, faster, and easier to carry. Now, you know, you've got these $1,400 Scully helmets coming out. It's only a matter of time before they're going to integrate, you know, front cameras and have camera, you know, recording integrated. So the easier it gets to do it, the more it's going to, the volume of that's going to increase. But that being said, do I always think I will post it to YouTube? Probably not. I would imagine that eventually that window will be closed, and I'll move on to something else. I don't know when, but you know, like I said, I've been recording stuff as far back as I can remember, and I don't see that like ever stopping ever. So, yeah, no, I don't think so. Tumbleweed state. I fucking shit you not, dude. It says, and it also says that their flower is the sunflower. Fuck Kansas, dude. Oh, it's because apparently there's a Mount Sunflower, and it's the highest elevation. What a fucking shitty state.